Welcome to Making the Case. I'm Yodit Tewolde. Today we saw another black man laid to rest, another man who was killed by law enforcement. As we'll hear tonight, the funeral services for Andrew Brown Jr. were filled with more than emotional farewells. Like so many others in recent weeks and months, a call for transparency and justice were made as friends, family, neighbors, and civil rights leaders gathered at a church in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Remember, Brown was killed nearly 2 weeks ago during a raid on his home and just one day after the guilty verdict in the Derek Chauvin trial. But tonight, there's a growing frustration on the heels of a recent ruling where a judge blocked the release of the body cam video to the public. The media, community, attorneys, and more importantly, the family have demanded authorities release the full body camera video. Harry Daniels, one of the attorneys for the Brown family, joins me tonight. First, let's check in with BNC correspondent Astrid Martinez, who's there in Elizabeth City tonight.
And the resounding sentiment from people today who attended the funeral was the city is hurting. So many people spoke to that emotion here today during Andrew Brown Jr.'s funeral. We heard from family members, we heard from attorneys, we heard from several reverends and friends. Also, we heard from relatives of other black men that were killed at the hands of police, including Eric Gardner's mother. In attendance was also relatives from George Floyd's family and Daunte Wright's family. And their message was that they're going to keep applying pressure along with protesters the way that they have been doing it for the last 12 days to make sure that there's transparency in this case and that the tape, the body cam video, is released sooner rather than later. Now, Andrew Brown Jr. was shot and killed by sheriff deputies nearly 2 weeks ago while deputies were attempting to serve a drug-related warrant. The 42-year-old leaves behind 7 children and several grandchildren. Law enforcement right now have released little details on what led to the shooting. But last Wednesday, during a court hearing to release the body cam videos, that was the first time that we actually heard from the district attorney, and really the only time. And he tells us that Andre Brown Jr. impacted the officers twice with his vehicle, and it wasn't until the second impact that shots were fired. Now, of course, attorneys for Brown's family dispute those claims, and they say to clear up any confusion, the DA should just release the tapes. Today, Reverend Al Sharpton, who delivered the eulogy, he echoed those demands.
The time's call for a policing act. When you see 10 policemen, including a police chief, get on the stand and testify against a policeman in Minneapolis, Minnesota, do you know what time it is? Even the police are tired of making excuses and covering up. It's time for the wrong police to pay the price like the wrong citizens. You got to be subject to the law, whether you have on blue jeans or blue uniforms. What is right is right is right.
Now, last week, a judge did rule that body cam video will be kept out of the public eye for 30 to 45 days, pending an investigation from the district attorney. Now, in the next coming days, family will have a chance to view all that body cam video and a dash cam, but it will be redacted and possibly omit some of the conversations between the officers. Back to you, Yodit.
All right, the family of Andrew Brown has a legal team working round the clock to help get answers about what happened the day Brown died. One of those attorneys, Harry Daniels, joins me live from Carrollton, Georgia tonight. Counselor, thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, so Andrew Brown Jr. was laid to rest today in a moving ceremony where friends and family remembered him as a devoted and loving father, someone who wanted to give his kids all of the things he didn't have. So our hearts definitely go out to the Brown family. Now, we know that the fight to get answers for this family about what happened to their loved one obviously continues. And last week, a Superior Court judge denied the media's request to have the body cam footage released to the public, but ruled the video from 4 body cameras would be disclosed to the immediate family and one attorney within 10 days. Do you know how many body cameras there are in total?
We don't know the exact amount of body cameras that's in total. We know what have been represented to us that we believe is 4 body cameras and a dash camera. So based on what was stated in court by the sheriff department major, I believe, who stood up and made a representation in court, there was 4 body cameras and 1 dash camera.
Okay, so from your knowledge, you are only aware of maybe 5 total. Now, why can only one attorney be allowed to be present?
You know, that is an issue that we are looking into to potentially file a motion in that regard. The statute that lays out that particular rule. It doesn't specify or nor does it restrict the amount of attorneys who can come in. It only states that representatives who are personal representatives, which are attorneys, can go in and to view. So there's no really broad or a strict definition. As it's broad, it's not a strict definition as to how many attorneys could go in. So the courts interpret it to be one attorney. But what's really happening here is that the county do not want certain lawyers to go in. And those lawyers are the seasoned civil rights attorneys, myself, Benjamin Crump, and Bakari Sellers, because they know once we go in and the description that we would give to the public at large would be a description of an execution. So they're trying to limit, but we have a backup plan so that the information that is seen on the recordings will be fully developed and very detailed note-taking to what happened, and to the public or the family at large we get the release of the video.
Right. I mean, I was going to say they can pick one of you all, but you all are so media savvy as well that after you view these 4 videos, you'd only go back out to the public and make it very transparent and known as to what it is that you saw. So I don't really understand the logic between having to pick one of you all. Okay, right. So within 10 days now would mean that the family would be viewing some of the footage this week, correct?
That's correct. The judge made his ruling on Wednesday. Within 10 days. He didn't say that it would take the entire 10 days. Within 10 days. We are still currently in North Carolina. Elizabeth City did some of the legal team members, to anticipate that it releases the video. We will be making an inquiry tomorrow to get a more definitive timeline of when this video will be disclosed to the family. So we'd imagine it would be this week, maybe towards the latter part of the week, closer to the weekend, for other reasons that the county may try to restrict any demonstrations or what have you. But it will be this week, pursuant to the judge's order, that we will get an opportunity to go in and review all body cam footage that's related to the shooting death of Mr. Andrew Brown.
Now, there's always this argument made about the difference between the public wanting to see the body cams and the public needing to see the body cams. Would you have been okay had law enforcement shown the family the entire footage from the start and not disclose it to the public?
Well, as one of the family attorneys, we do have an overarching interest of our clients. We do not represent the public, but we are understanding that accountability and transparency is an overarching interest of the public, as it is an overarching interest for us. So, to your question, that yes, we represent the family. We definitely want to see these videos. They definitely should have the right to see these recordings. However, on the opposite end, as being citizens and taxpayers of Pasquotank County in North Carolina, we understand that the citizens have a overarching interest as well to see their public officials doing their public duty and accountability, because you want to know who's on your streets and keeping you safe, because you never know, you could be next.
Now, the judge also ruled that the family would see everything within 30 to 45 days. Why so long, in your opinion, if what they're saying is all they have to do, the state's, the prosecutor's office and law enforcement, is to shade any identity in the video? There were obviously several officers, and so to protect their privacy, they would want to go ahead and do that. Would redacting that, I don't know how small this department is, but would it take that long?
No, it shouldn't take that long. In fact, redactions is a very simple process. Usually you have videographers that come in, can do redactions, audiographers that can do those things. What you have here, do not be fooled of what's going on. This is trying to hide the hand from us of what's happening. We're very aware what's happening, even trying to get your ducks in a row, what have you. So this is nothing that we are fooled by or blinded by. We know that they are trying to clear whatever they need to clear up, get in place whatever they need to get in place. Be very mindful that the investigatory body, the State Bureau of Investigation of North Carolina, in fact, was not in opposition for the release of the video to the public. That is very big. The sheriff was not in opposition of release to the video to the public. The county was not in opposition of release the video to the public, as well as the Brown family. The only person in opposition is the district attorney, Andrew Womble. And his position was that he did not want to, taint or have potential grand jurors to look at the video before time to make a decision. Well, the grand jurors will have an opportunity to see the video. The video is not going to change. Hopefully it doesn't change. If it do, we'll deal with that issue on a later date. But the interest of seeing these videos, family versus public, it is very, very concerning that the district attorney is taking this approach to stop the blockade, the release of videos, when the investigatory body and the agency who's actually involved with the incident, the killing of Andrew Brown, is not in opposition of it, and actually say we want the videos released.
No, it definitely is very strange to find the prosecuting attorney on the opposite side of the county attorney, or the county police, that is. Okay, one quick question, one more. Crump told reporters today that the family wants a local DA to recuse, speaking of the same DA that we're talking about now, to recuse himself because he's shown some bias towards media. Now, are y'all asking for the state's AG to take over, much like the Minnesota AG took over the Derek Chauvin trial?
Well, I think the district attorney has went against the grain in his argument that he did not want to take or try this matter in a court of public opinion or in the public. The district attorney made a statement, said that Andrew Brown's car made contact with the officer when it backed up, and he made contact again with the officer, and that's when the officer started shooting. Well, let me be very specific to the viewers that the officer was reaching for the car, so of course he made contact. Of course the car made contact. What he did not say that Andrew Brown used that car as a weapon to justify shooting, because the vehicle is shot from the rear quarter pounder. Mr. Brown was shot in the rear and in the back of the head, point blank, period. That is the objective evidence. You can't get around it. But what he's trying to do is play politics here. He put enough out there to try to have individuals to think, oh, well, this may be a justified shooting. I assure you it's not a justified shooting, and he should recuse himself because that was very unprofessional, inappropriate. As the chief prosecuting officer for this county, he did exactly what he argued that he was afraid of doing if the videos get released. The state should bring the attorney general, special prosecutor to come in to prosecute this matter, because this district attorney have proven that he is joined to the hip of these officers who are involved. I'm sure these officers involved have brought cases. So we need to definitely get a special prosecutor immediately, so transparency and accountability can be had in this case.
All right, Attorney Harry Daniels, thank you so very much for joining us tonight, and we definitely invite you to come back and be able to give our viewers an update on this case for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.